Ellie Tudor, a fourth grader and a sixth grader. So, Ms. Holland, you pray for us first?
Sure. Let us pray. Lord, just today, give us eyes to help us see our neighbors' needs and ears to hear what the community has to say. Help us to have open hearts and hands ready to serve for the majority of the community. In Christ's name, amen.
Thank you, ma'am. Come on, ladies. They're going to get it in a little bit. Oh, where's your little basket?
I did too.
Donna, where's your basket of, keys? Let's give all them one at the same time. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have a special, I guess I should approve the agenda for tonight's meeting first with a one amendment, and that amendment is I'd like to insert Kiara Morrow, who is a Center College class of 2027 prospective graduate from Center College. She's going to share something with us here in a few minutes. But Commissioners, I'd like to approve tonight's agenda with that one change, one addition. So the chair would like to entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Kiara, would you come forward at the microphone? Share your thoughts with our community. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kiara Morrow. I'm a junior at Center College, and I'm observing tonight because I wanted to learn more about local policies and local governments and how it impacts people's lives and the communities around them. But now I'm going to read my poem. It's called A Poem of Quiet Leadership. I watch a town move, and I wonder about the hands that guide it, unseen, that hold its weight without applause. Leadership is a quiet courage, a steady presence when no one notices. The sleepless nights, the small choices that ripple farther than any eyes can follow. I think of the roads paved with decisions, the streets lined with hopes, the people who wake each day trusting in a direction they cannot see but feel. And somewhere in the middle of it all, you stand. Not for recognition, but for praise. But because someone must hold the light when the world grows heavy, when the noise is louder than the answers, when hope feels fragile. I imagine the weight of a city carried quietly in your hands, and I feel a small piece of it in my own chest, because courage is contagious. And your choice to serve teaches young people like me what it means to step forward even when the path is unseen. So thank you for showing up when it's hard, for holding steady when it's easier to leave, for proving that service is not about headlines, but about care, responsibility, and the unseen ways we move the world. Because of you, the town breathes a little easier. Because of you, we learn that leadership is not about being remembered, but about shaping lives quietly, beautifully, and bravely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I know that was directed at the mayor and the city commission, but it sounds like directed at our entire community. We have lots and lots of leaders in our community, so job well done. I'll have to tell you, Professor, that you showed up on time. You did a good job. Thank you, ma'am. Next on our agenda is we have our first hear the public, where citizens can speak to us about items that are on our agenda. And I see we have lots of folks in attendance. I would ask you to raise your hand, be recognized, and if you're talking about an item on the agenda, we will listen to you, and you have 3 minutes or less. And if there are a lot of you all, which I assume, it gets me in trouble sometimes, a lot of you are here for the same item, that I would ask you to yield to someone else who's already spoken and try not to repeat and say the same thing over and over again. Okay? Can we agree to that? And we will agree to listen to you. And as an old former lifetime middle school teacher, I'll try to conduct this as if I'm in class, okay? So if you're wanting to speak to us about an item on the agenda, please raise your hand. I'll ask you to come to the podium and ask you to identify yourself, and then we'll give you that 3 minutes or less. So, okay, seeing none, we'll move right along then.
I thought that was when you hear from the public after number 14 on the agenda?
We offered two opportunities, ma'am. One is for things on the agenda, the second one is for things that are not on the agenda, but we still will listen to you. All right? Yes, sir.
Part of maybe our hesitation here is some of the people that I know.
Why don't you come up, sir, and be recognized so that we can capture you on the video.
Okay, I can recognize him from here. Kevin. Part of the reason.
State your name for us.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm Bob Webster. Live on Old Lexington Road. Part of the reason that maybe we don't quite understand how all this works is item number 10. Excuse me just one second. One of the joys of aging.
That's okay, the mayor has a prayer, okay?
Is this item number 10 says first reading ordinance 2060, right-of-way abandonment, Old Lexington Road, action needed.
Yes, sir.
I don't really understand what that ordinance is.
Okay, well, let's let the city attorney explain that to you, and then we'll see if that addresses your concern.
What I anticipate, Dr. Webster, is that your concerns about that aren't really focused towards the right-of-way abandonment, but of a potential future use of the land that's adjacent to the city's right-of-way. So if that is the case, it would not be appropriate now to address that item. You could address it in the second, hear the public if you so chose.
Okay.
However, we can engage what the comments are at that time. The process for potential use issues regarding those properties would be best served under the public hearing that will be held at the Planning Commission as opposed before this body, who won't be able to hear those concerns that you may or may not have if that's what they're related to.
Okay. Even, I understand that it doesn't directly address that issue, but sort of my feeling is anything that makes that zone change easier in people's minds affects that agenda item.
I think when we get to the item to be discussed, it'll be clarified a bit about what the city's role is in that right-of-way. But the city does not have we are not a part of the zone change. Any adjacent property owners could seek zone changes as they exist today,
Right.
whether or not the ordinance in front of the commission tonight is approved.
So we will learn more then about why this abandonment of right-of-way is being considered
You will.
tonight, today, and what all
You
is
will.
involved with that.
It was addressed initially at the previous meeting, but I believe that the city manager is prepared to further discuss that tonight to provide more information.
Thank you.
Whoops, sorry. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name's Tom Quilligan. I also live on Old Lexington Road, and I don't find that to be an acceptable response. If the city did not abandon the right-of-way, then there's no case for the zone change to take place. You're feathering the bed for them to lie in.
That's not actually correct, sir.
I-
I think
you know,
a
I don't-
zone,
I
a zone
don't think
change
that's-
could be sought by the property owners as they exist today, whether the city abandoned its right-of-way or not. And
Well, it seems
again,
awfully coincidental to me that you had the city commission meeting on a Monday. Less than 48 hours later, there were 12 surveyors out carving up the property. Absolutely, right after this meeting. So don't tell me that there's not a connection.
it's not my position to tell you whether there's a connection or not, other than I know that the city received a request for right-of-way abandonment. It was discussed at your previous meeting. Now is not the time to discuss any potential concerns with any zone change.
That
Those are
awfully
articulated
seems
clearly.
awful.
Mayor, it's the position of staff that these comments as it may be related to a zone change, are inappropriate for discussion before you at this time of the hear the public. Those are not properly before you in an ordinance format. To the extent that a citizen wanted to discuss on whether that right-of-way should be abandoned or not, then those would be appropriate during this time based upon the rules of our procedure. However, if it goes further than the extent of whether the city should abandon the right-of-way or not, it would not be appropriate.
Why did Holcomb Oil, why were they able to speak at length at the last meeting to address right-of-way abandonment?
This is not a time in which we answer questions, but I will speak for the betterment of the people that are here involved and may have concern over it, is that there's a statutory process for anyone who requests the city to abandon right-of-way under KRS Chapter 82, and that is what they did. They submitted a right-of-way request for the city under that statutory process. So upon receipt of that, it was analyzed by staff and in consultation with you at our last public meeting.
You know,
It's a
I'm
statutory
just a citizen.
process.
I don't really know anything about this process.
Well-
But I'll tell you from the outside looking in, it seems like the fix is in. And that's how it appears. And if this goes forward,
This
then
body has
shame
made
on
no
you guys.
comment on any zoning ordinances, only entertained a request to abandon right-of-way as it exists today, which is the only thing that's properly before you. The next process would be in front of the zoning commission if an application for a map amendment is filed, and then a meeting would be scheduled upon proper notification under KRS Chapter 100, and the normal process from the Bull County Planning Commission would be abided by, at which time anyone who had any public comment would be recommended to attend, make those comments known, and properly considered by the Planning Commission at that time, at that publicly scheduled meeting, which I have no knowledge of if that's been scheduled or not.
There's another hand in the back. Yes, sir.
My name is David Shannon. I also live on Old Lexington Road. And let me see if I can rephrase the issue. Before the council, the commission is to, this ordinance to abandon. Can I ask, relevant to that, why that is to be abandoned?
This is not a time for questions, but you can make comments on whether you think it should be abandoned or not. That would be appropriate.
We can't ask what the motivation is of the city bringing this to an ordinance. We can't ask why this is the case.
What's that, Commissioner? Yeah, that matter will be considered on item 10. But the city did pass a resolution at its last meeting, which I don't have in front of me, but it has been made public of the reasons for abandonment, in support of abandonment. I don't recall them off the top of my head. The city manager may have.
Yeah,
Why don't we wait till we get to item 10 to have Earl review
Yeah.
the items that were identified at the last meeting 2 weeks ago? But right now, we're still on hear the public
Sure.
about items on the agenda. And I think we sort of wavered away from that. I'm trying to be as tactful and polite as I can be because we're all citizens and we all desire to be heard. We just want to make sure that what we do, we follow that right process so that what you say and what we hear and what we do does not get any of us in violation of any of our regulations.
And I would say too, Mayor, just as a reminder to the public, the city commission speaks through its written ordinances and resolutions and public statements. And so those matters are public on the city's website. I don't know the resolution number, but if you looked at the last meeting agenda, that resolution has been published and would provide the basis for the city's justification for the initial steps of right-of-way abandonment.
And we'll make sure we discuss those reasons when we get to number 10.
So this will
Okay.
be discussed in a few minutes in
Yes.
item 10
Yes,
discussion.
sir. Probably more than a few minutes, but yes, sir, it'll be discussed tonight. Okay. All right. Let's move on then. We know that most of you all in attendance are here about the same issue, and we appreciate that. And once again, I'm always going to say welcome. We want to hear from you. So this is a good way to see our government in action. The next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. So the chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 11:10 and 11:20.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second. And Mayor, may I make note that I was not in attendance, although I did watch the meetings, both of those. I was out of commission.
Thank you, ma'am. So then properly moved in second. Any questions or comments, corrections, additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. We've approved 2 sets of minutes. Next on the agenda is a proclamation recognizing the Danville Christian Academy cross-country team, ladies cross-country team, I assume, right? Guys and a guy as well? You run with all them girls, babe? Oh, go ahead, all right. Commissioner Peak, you want to read that resolution for us, please, ma'am?
I'm going to try. Whereas the Danville Christian Academy cross-country program had an outstanding year representing Danville Christian Academy and the greater Bull County community through exceptional athletic achievement and sportsmanship, and whereas DCA elementary and middle school teams earned numerous top finishes throughout the 2025 cross-country season, including first place in the elementary girls' 3rd through 5th grade 2K race at DCA Battlefield Blitz, first place in the girls' 4th through 6th grade 2K, right? At the Somerset Christian Cougar Prowl Invitational, 3rd place in the Central Kentucky Championships Middle School Girls 3K, first place in the girls' 4th through 6th grade 1-mile race at the Apple Festival Cross Country Invitational, first place in the girls' 4th through 6th grade 2K at Somerset Invitational, first place in the girls' 4th through 6th grade 2K at the Southwestern All Corners, first place in the girls' 4th through 6th grade race at Cave Lake Fall Classic, 5th place in the girls' 6th and under 2K at the Middle School Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky. And whereas these outstanding performances were achieved by the following dedicated athletes, Abigail Tudor, Eliana Tudor, Breland Farrell, Annika Perez, Kinsey Syra, Aniston Bodner, Elena Wren, Kaylee Lay, Abby Jo Atkins, Luciana Vargas, and Kinsey Lay, whose hard work and teamwork brought pride to DCA and the local community. And whereas Brian Steck became the first male runner in DCA history to qualify individually for the cross-country state meet, placing 12th out of 72 runners in the KHSAA Region 5 Class 1A meet, marking a historic milestone for the program. And whereas 3 DCA athletes set a new course records in multiple competitions, Brian Steck breaking records in the E.G. Plummer Invitational 5K, Somerset Invitational 5K, and Cougar Prowl Invitational 5K. Abigail Tudor breaking records in the Cougar Prowl Invitational 2K, Somerset Invitational 2K, Cave Lake Fall Classic 2K, Woodford County Invitational 3K, and E.G. Plummer Invitational 4K. And Eliana Tudor breaking records in the Woodford Invitational 2K and E.G. Plummer 2K. And whereas Danville Christian Academy proudly partnered with the Parable Battlefield for the 2nd annual DCA Battlefield Blitz, showcasing hundreds of talented athletes from across Kentucky, while also bringing visitors to experience this historic and scenic landmark that proudly calls Bull County home. And whereas the Area 6 Athletes of the Year honors were awarded to 3 outstanding DCA runners, Brian Steck, Class 1A, Abby Tudor, Middle School, and Ellie Tudor, Elementary, each demonstrating remarkable dedication, character, and excellence in their sport. And whereas the Danville Christian Academy cross-country athletes and coaches are shining examples of perseverance, teamwork, and commitment to excellence, serving as role models both on and off the course, and are to be commended for their exceptional representation of Danville Christian Academy in Bull County. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor James J.H. Atkins and the Board of Commissioners of the City of Danville do hereby congratulate the Danville Christian Academy cross-country program on its exceptional 2025 seasons, celebrate the individual and team accomplishments of the athletes, and encourage all citizens of Danville and Bull County to join in recognizing their remarkable achievements and their positive representation of our community. Wow. That's a
Thank you,
lot.
ma'am. The chair would entertain a motion to accept this resolution.
I move that we accept the resolution into the record. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of accepting this resolution and congratulating these outstanding athletes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. You all want to meet us down front? We'll
And all these trophies.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell us a little bit about where this really big trophy, which one was that? Oh, trophy.
The middle school category in high school. I thought he was a seventh grader. Come on, Commissioner, get in this picture, about right now, turn sideways. Am I doing right here, right? Was that handcuffs? All right. What?
Everybody look at me. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Give us like
I know.
Again, congratulations, and look forward to having you all back next year with more bling bling, right? Man. I'm glad I'm not still coaching. I take that huge trophy right there and cut it down and give everybody on my team a brick off of it, right? A piece of that thing. Man, restore that thing. Well. Okay, and Marshall Carrier, you want to come forward the next two items of recognition?
Thank you, Mayor. December 1st will mark the end of a couple of careers here with the city of Danville. Two gentlemen, Robert Riley and Lindsay Yoakum. Got a lot of years between these two guys. Been here for many a day. They've done a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication for the city of Danville and Perryville. You guys want to come up? I know you don't want to, but
Come on up anyway.
they don't normally come to the commission meetings, so I had to beg and plead to get them to come here today, so.
They didn't hesitate to get in that barbecue line the other day.
Yeah, they did. They did. We had a little luncheon the other day for these two guys and had a good
Yeah,
turnout.
good deal.
And had some folks from the commission show up also. We appreciate everybody's time and dedication in getting all that together. First off, Robert Riley, 57 years of service with the city of Perryville and Danville. Robert has one daughter that passed away years ago, but also has a surviving son and daughter. He's got 5 grandkids between those. They live in the Perryville area. Robert likes to collect guns. He's migrating into the silver business also. He collects a lot of old cars. He's got more than he can count, more than likely. Collects knives also, and maybe you can explain it more than I can, but you're starting to dabble in exotic animals, is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
He's talking about getting a parakeet. Was it a parakeet?
African gray.
Oh, it's an African gray, whatever it is. So,
Okay.
sounds pretty expensive, but I talked with Robert a little bit earlier today and talked about, what he has on the horizon for him, personally. He's got some farm property that he's going to maintain, and he's got some other properties around Bull County too that he spends a lot of time on and maintaining. So I don't know if you want to say anything, Robert, or?
It's just been nice working with y'all for all the, the past years, and had a good time, doing it. And hadn't had any problems with anybody, anywhere, nothing else. Been here for a while, and that's about all I can say right now.
We appreciate Robert a lot. Next guy up, we got Lindsay Yoakum. He's our sewer collection superintendent as of December the 1st. He'll be leaving the city. He's got 21 years in with the city. Lindsay lives in Geneva, Kentucky. He's got a wife, Donna, who's put up with him for 47 years.
Whoa.
Congratulations. Yeah, Lindsay he always says he's got to make sure she knows what she's up to, so. Got 2 kids, 6 grandkids. Lindsay enjoys fishing, camping. You do go to the campgrounds a lot, so now you'll have a little more time to do that kind of stuff too, so. And then spending time with the grandkids. He's planning to fish some more, camp even more, and do some construction work on the side. Lindsay likes to dabble in construction machinery and so on the side too, so. Roundabout way of saying these are 2 guys that really meant a lot to the city of Danville and a lot to municipal utilities, a lot to our city manager. Earl has known him a lot longer than I have, but Earl, if you want to say anything.
Yeah, man, you guys mean a lot. I mean, me and Robert started together and just looked at each other. We didn't know each other at the beginning, And we've been through a lot, and we've seen his grandkids and my kids play softball together, and it's been just a terrific experience knowing Robert. And you know, Lindsay is right there with us. You know, we've all been in late at night, bad situations, water flowing down the road, sewer coming out, and when you are in that situation, you want smart people around you. It's necessary to have folks with a lot of different skill sets in a decision position. And these guys, the community in Boyle County and Danville, Perryville, Junction City has benefited by the willingness of these two guys to stay with the community as long as they have. And certainly, I personally appreciate it. Y'all have meant a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you. What? No, that's not.
All right, everybody smile. Congratulations.
Our newly appointed fire chief is up next. Chief McGurdy. Oh, I said, where are you, dude? Another recognition for tonight's meeting.
Thank you all. So today we're here to recognize Ben Thompson. Ben, you mind joining me? So it's my privilege today to recognize Ben Thompson for his outstanding dedication and achievement. From the moment Ben joined the Danville Fire Department as a recruit, he's approached this calling with serious determination and strong sense of purpose. Ben just recently graduated from the Kentucky Fire Academy. And over the course of that 13-week Kentucky Fire Academy program, which is a very demanding training program for our profession, Ben distinguished himself through hard work, focus, and unwavering commitment. His efforts did not simply carry him through the academy, they elevated him. Ben excelled at every stage of training and earned the distinguished honor of serving as co-valedictorian. So today we wanted to be able to recognize him and give him an award. This accomplishment reflects not only his personal discipline, but also the sacrifices made along the way. The long weeks of training and the time spent away from home requires resilience both from Ben and from his family, which are here tonight. That support helped make his achievements possible. Today, we're proud to welcome Ben as a certified professional firefighter. That training that he did and those certifications that he's able to attain through that class, actually, when Ben came to us, he was a recruit firefighter with basic skills, and that 13-week course gave him all the qualifications and things that he needed to be able to be promoted into a full-time career firefighter. So today, we're proud to welcome Ben as a certified professional firefighter. He has demonstrated that skill, the character, and the dedication worthy of the badge he now carries. He has earned the respect of his instructors, his classmates, and this entire department. Firefighter Ben Thompson, congratulations on this milestone. The Danville Fire Department is honored to have you among its ranks, and we look forward to the contributions you will make in service to this community.
Would Ben's family come forward as well?
And sister. And, I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm like, he is
That's good getting started.
twins right now.
We owe him another big congratulations. He's getting ready to have 2 twin girls. Man, that's a biggie, man. Congratulations. Melanie Crossfield, you want to take the next one? Introduction of our new chamber director.
Hi, good evening. I'm very excited to have Sarah Paulum here. She is the newest director of the Danville Boyle County Chamber of Commerce. And so I will let her introduce herself, but I just wanted to say I'm so excited to get to work with Sarah. Your first official week was last week, and we've already met twice. So Sarah's ready to rock and roll, and we're all going to have to keep up. So thank you for being here, and tell them all about yourself. I appreciate it. Hi, I'm Sarah Paulum. It's nice to meet y'all, well, for you to meet me at least, and I hope to meet you. I hope that you all find a renewed energy in the Chamber of Commerce and in our mission. I really think that soon the community will see the effects of that resurgence, and hopefully you'll see it not just in your community, but you'll see it in the businesses, you'll see it in Perryville, you'll see it in Junction, not just here in Danville. So I appreciate you all having me tonight, and I hope to meet you.
Congratulations again, ma'am. Next, we have an update by our Civil Air Patrol, and that's going to be given by Pam Britt. Huh? Marquita.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Who's that you got with you?
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and community partners. My name is Marquita Case. I'm the Deputy Commander for Danville's Civil Air Patrol Squadron. Thanks for allowing us to provide an update on the work and the growth of our squadron. We've done exceptional amount of wonderful things for the community this year. For those who are unaware, Civil Air Patrol is a volunteer organization We serve as the official civilian auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force. And currently, our squadron here in Danville has 40 members. That includes 16 senior members, 24 cadets, and 2 prospective cadets. This year alone, we've welcomed 4 new senior members and 12 new cadets, which reflect a strong local interest in our program. We are also proud to share that 4 of our cadets have enlisted into the military this year, continuing their service beyond Civil Air Patrol. Recruitment remains one of our top priorities, and our momentum for this is strong. At this point, I'm gonna introduce Cadet Senior Airman Lizzie Case. She's gonna continue to provide the rest of the update for our squadron.
Okay. This year has been an extremely active year for us throughout the state of Kentucky. Our members have deployed for several missions, both emergency response and educational. In spring 2025, our cadets completed 2 NASA missions where they collected and communicated statistical data related to airport contrails. In February, both cadets and senior members supported missions in eastern Kentucky during the flooding, participating in ground team search and rescue, as well as aerial photography. In September, our team also served as aerial mission scanners, supporting the search of a potential downed aircraft. In addition to missions, we remained committed to training and leadership development. Our squadron has completed multiple search and rescue training exercises, and we took cadets on an educational trip to the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force in Ohio. One of our senior members served as a cadet escort to Belgium, and we also had a representation at National Legislative Day in Washington, D.C. This past July, we sent several cadets to encampment, which is CAP's week-long basic training style leadership school. Several cadets are already planning to attend next summer. Encampment helps teach military customs and courtesies, discipline, leadership, and teamwork. Cornerstones of our program. Right now, our squadron is actively working on color guard training, earning the rocketry badge, and expanding our aerospace education program. One of our most meaningful efforts this year is our participation in Wreaths Across America, and we are thrilled to bring this program directly to Danville National Cemetery for the very first time. In previous years, we only had the manpower to support Lebanon National Cemetery, but with our growth, we are now proudly sponsoring both cemeteries. This November, through community support, our cadets raised $1,750 at the Danville Kroger, which funds 103 wreaths, and $2,300 in Lebanon, funding 136 wreaths. We have donation slips available for anyone who would like to sponsor a wreath. The deadline to donate is December 1st. There's also slips on the table at the back of the room. We also have several upcoming events: cadet orientations flights on November 29th, the VFW flag raising ceremony, the Danville Christmas Parade, Wreaths Across America on December 13th, and the Kentucky Capitol Rotunda wreath ceremony. Looking ahead to next year, our cadets are preparing for multiple statewide trainings, encampment, and the Kentucky Wing Conference. And one of our senior members has again been selected to represent Kentucky Civil Air Patrol at National Legislative Day in February. Finally, I would like to extend an invitation to all of you and to anyone in the community who may be interested in what we do. Our squadron meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the Civil Air Patrol building at Stewart Powell Airport. We would be honored to have you visit us and see us firsthand the impact that our cadets and senior members are making. Thank you for your time and continued support of the Danville Civil Air Patrol.
Thank you, ma'am. Wow, great job. Great job, young lady. Well, Commissioners, any questions or comments for the Civil Air Patrol and their update?
Now, I was just thinking, several years ago, we were talking to folks that came in here to tell us what you all were up to, and the big concern then was there weren't enough youth involved, but over the last several years, that part of it's really taken off, so that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I think there was a disconnect between knowing what Civil Air Patrol does and how it affects our youth and the things that we provide for the youth, not only just in training, but in real-world experience, giving them the opportunity to do search and rescue, giving them to opportunity to participate in actual search and rescue missions and disaster relief makes them feel important, and it makes them feel like there's something that they can do to give back to the community. And we've really pushed hard on that
Good
recently.
deal. Seems to be paying off.
Yeah, and
Thank you
40
for what you
members,
do.
well, that's great. Yep. Any other questions or comments?
When is the laying of the wreaths? Is it December 13th?
Yes, yes,
At
we will be
the National
laying-
Cemetery?
Yes, we will be there laying the wreaths. There, we'll have the ceremony there December 13th at the Danville National Cemetery.
Do you know what time?
I believe it is at noon.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Again, thank you, ma'am, and continue doing such a great job with our youth. Thank you now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is a CVB appointment. Commissioner, you have a name in your packet from the weekend. Is there a motion to accept the CVB appointment?
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment as presented. It's Kate Snyder, and her term will expire 12/1/2028.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting Kate as a new member of the CVB board, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Next is the second reading of ordinance 2059, zone change for 650 High Street. Madam Clerk, you want to read this second reading, please?
Yes. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2059, an ordinance changing the zone from multifamily residential RM3 to general business GB for approximately 2.443 acres, more or less of real property located at 650 High Street in the city of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the second reading of ordinance 2059.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Cottle?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Mayor Atkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland?
Yes.
Commissioner Saris?
Next on the, motion carries. Next on the agenda is the first reading of ordinance number 2060, right-of-way abandonment, Old Lexington Road.
Scared.
It's like-
Did I jump?
Mayor, can we have the clerk read the ordinance into the record, please?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2060, an ordinance abandoning and closing a portion of Lexington Road consisting of a 60-foot wide right-of-way extending southwesterly from the intersection of Waterworks Road and Lexington Road. Do you want me to read the coordinates too?
You don't have to read the
Okay.
coordinates.
To Old Lexington Road containing approximately 1.9 acres, more or less.
Need a motion?
Off center, I move that we approve the first reading of ordinance 2060.
Thank you, sir. Second? Thank you, ma'am. Let's have a discussion before we have a roll call vote.
Yeah, we'll try to dim the
I'm
lights
sorry.
up there so you can see it a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm just like.
That's good, Josh. We can probably see that. So the subject at hand, and given the questions I've received about the right-of-way so far, is a little bit tough to understand. The property that the zone change property that is ag zone, that is not the city, that is in private hands, is this triangle shape that I'm circling with a red marker. The city of Danville has a right-of-way that was abandoned when when the new version of 2168 and 34 was constructed. And then this area here is owned by Cornerstone Assembly. This property is on an island. It is fronted by 3 roads, 3 Old Lexington, New Lexington down here on the corner, and then 2168, 34 on the what is the north side. So this is north on this side. So the question to us was, what are we doing with the right-of-way? As we go out there and look at that with the city engineer and staff, the city really doesn't, really all we do is maintain this right-of-way. We mow it. It's an expense to the taxpayer, which is why we opened the discussion about what's the proposal. The request is that would the city commission consider abandoning that right-of-way? So then the question I have then is why do we need to do that? And then once so I'm asking that to myself, and then once I step back from that, I realize that the developer that is making the request has more than sufficient land to develop per their intention. In this case, the Nuclear Mole Enterprise is wanting to build a structure there and do their business, right? So as we look at this land is 4 acres. They own that now, and everything that they want to do will fit on 2 acres. So this is oddly shaped, but they can do everything they need to do. And so once we looked at that, the next question that we ask ourselves is what is this currently zoned out here? And this is ag zone. And so the red flag then popped up in our heads as staff, which was that's miszoned for the size of acreage that it is. And so given that knowledge, the developer is correctly, I think going to seek a zone change. And I don't want to necessarily speak to that other than to say that the red flag that we had is the fact that it is miszoned. So the likelihood of success at a zone change theoretically is higher. So saying that, then we looked at the right of way, and we think about a development like that, and we think about which we've talked about it before. We've talked about what that is. This corner is an infill corner for development. It is inside 2168. It's fronted by right-of-way on 3 sides. It is, the area around it is already partially developed with a church on this end. And so how do we get to a point where we have good development out of that situation, out of that island into the community? And how do we leverage what the city has to get something out of it for the community that currently we wouldn't otherwise have the leverage to seek? So what could the city exercise that it would not otherwise have the ability to do? Understanding that the city is not enabling the development, the city is not, the city's management of the right-of-way is not enabling anything. So that's mischaracterized and not necessarily accurate at all. Saying that, then, one of the things that the city could do is make conditions in exchange for the right-of-way on things that if it were to be developed, things like a masonry building, something historic in nature, something attractive in nature, so that if you do end up with a commercial enterprise, it looks less commercial than the developer would otherwise have the option to construct. And so those conditions that the city commission could seek, such as enhanced lighting requirements, enhanced landscaping requirements, enhanced building requirements, all those things you are not entitled to ask for unless you have leverage. And so the developer could go through a normal zone change and get something probably not commensurate with the neighborhood, whereas if the city commission could exercise their leverage, hopefully they could get a better product and better development out of the situation. For example, by giving the abandoned right-of-way to both Cornerstone and the property owner on this corner, you would create a new property. These two folks, Cornerstone and the developer, have already agreed to swap this property with this property. So if this line were drawn, Cornerstone would own this triangle. The owner here, the Newcomb, would own this triangle. So they believe swapping that might be a good idea. They've talked about that during their consent form submittal. If they do that, then suddenly the church has a property that it can better use for its operations. And this becomes, instead of having a dysfunctional island out there on 2168 that's difficult to maintain, that can grow up and look shabby, it can be something that's more easily maintained by a property owner here and also a property owner here. And so it's our recommendation then therefore to gain leverage over this property by working this parcel into this tract. Also promote smart growth by an infill development inside of the bypass, inside of the existing service area of the city, inside of the existing city limit, rather than a proliferation of development beyond that city boundary. So this is, in fact, by definition, an infill development. This is by definition cleaning up land that is very difficult to manage by the city participating in the development, by using that land as leverage. The city is exercising conditions on what this developer may do and has an opportunity to do that. Now, we'll see what they propose during the zone change application, and the request about that land use will be heard at a public hearing, and planning and zoning ultimately will have to decide if that development, if the land use proposed by that developer matches what it considers the zoning ordinance. And if that is the case, then the city commission is sitting there with leverage over the developer because of this old abandoned right-of-way. And so it's our recommendation to close the right-of-way and continue down the process, understanding that the development is inevitable ultimately, and therefore you're not enabling it, contrary to what folks say. You are not doing that. You are trying to participate by making, exercising the leverage you can to produce a more positive results. So that's why we ended up recommending the closure of the right-of-way and the abandonment of the right-of-way for both the benefit of Cornerstone and also the corner property.
May I say something, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Since I'm not as smart as ever, I didn't go all the way down that road. To me, the question was, do we abandon the right-of-way? And, you know, we've been mowing it. There's no need for us to keep mowing it. And regardless of what this ultimately becomes, that right-of-way is hindering whatever you want to do there. I think it's going to be, its future land use is residential, if I recall. I mean, I just think that abandoning that right-of-way is, makes sense regardless of what's going to go there. Now, he may have given us information, he did, I've shared it with some of you, about what he wants to do, but that did not weigh into my decision on what we should do about the right-of-way.
Other questions or comments? Now, I notice there's several hands in the audience that are up, so I need to get some direction from my attorney and my city manager.
I have some questions still.
Oh, you do? Okay, well,
yeah.
maybe you'll take.
So I just wanted to clarify, we have track 2 and 3. That's the city right away, right?
I'll
Track 3 and 4, actually.
3 and 4, okay.
The city right-of-way.
Can we flip it? Can we change the orientation?
Yeah, can we rotate the drawing 90 degrees? We're going to try. I think that will make more, uh-oh.
That was the mayor officially, don't y'all take that personally.
Might not be as simple. On the right side of that tab at the top, far right, below the time and date. There you go. That sees a little better. Thank you. The right-of-way begins here and is a diagonal all the way across the property like this. Does that make sense?
So,
I'm
so
sorry.
if
That's
you look
what-
at the section closest to Old Lexington Road, Earl, if you'll put your clicker, that is track 4 in that shape there. And the track, keep on going, is track 3. So the request that you approved at your last meeting was to abandon those 2 tracks of existing right-of-way, which is the old roadbed. Okay? Prior, as you know, there was a result of the Kentucky Department of Transportation project. That area there. That's 2 tracks, and that is the area that we're in discussion about. Last meeting, if you continue on, Earl, on the other side, show that little triangle, continue to the south. Keep on, go the other direction. Go out of the right of way. Yeah. That's the other area that we talked about that would be the area where we have the continuance of the right of way that would become a trailhead parking area for the walking track. Okay, just so we have total project configuration. The city of Danville owns all the right of way. And if that does that answer your question, Commissioner Holland?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to turn mine crooked. And, okay, I understand now. So track 1 goes to Cornerstone, and Cornerstone's given Newcomb track 2.
That is,
right?
that is correct. That would be the correct swap.
This triangle up
Or
here.
selling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Stephen, you may want to mention that anytime the city or any government entity abandons a right-of-way, it goes to the adjoining landowners, correct?
That's correct. By Kentucky law, the abandonment of roadway automatically inures to the adjoining landowner.
How long has the triangle been owned by the Newcomb Group? Like 2015, or
So the.
it's been owned by them a long time?
The property transactions out here started about 2015, when the roadway was redone.
Yeah,
The city took possession of the right-of-way from the state. This went into private hands, and I think the Cornerstone acquired some track in here sometime after that. I don't remember if it was 2016 or 2017 for them.
Thank you.
Extend that photograph by an eighth of an inch, and now you've got at least 12 houses. Extend it by another eighth of an inch.
Mayor, I would recommend that you keep decorum in the conversation. The commission needs to discuss the business in front of it. It's not open for public comment at this time, and I encourage you to maintain the decorum before the commission on the particular item for you. And then the public comment can be sought at the appropriate time, but now it's not that time.
And I hear the public? Okay. All right, then. You all continue to be patient. Other questions or comments?
Not that I mean, how much does it cost typically to keep that right of way up? Do we have any idea of how much it costs to?
It's going to cost at somewhere, and Josh, maybe you can.
It's lumped into our overall mowing contract that's countywide, so it's really hard to, I mean,
Okay.
we've never pulled that out separately before, so I'd hate to speak to it.
It's mowed about once every 3-4 weeks tops.
Yeah, it's a monthly mow. Yeah, it's a monthly mow.
Other questions or comments from the commission? I'd like to ask a question about item number 10 myself. Could we move item number 10 down, our vote on item number 10 down until we have the second hear the public, so I can have all this input from the citizens before we cast our vote for that? I'd have to get a permission from the commission to do that.
It's your meeting, Mayor, so you're entitled to do that. You've already approved the agenda in its order, but you would just need to make a motion to do that. Simple roll or voice vote will be
Good idea.
sufficient.
I'll make a motion, we do that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hear the public.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So what we've done, we've just moved item number 10 down after the second hear the public in between the commissioner updates and comments. And that way we'll have a chance to hear from the people in attendance who desire to speak to us about this item. All those in favor of moving that, say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. So we'll move right along to number 11 and come back later on. And if I'm slick, I'll forget about going back to that and just go on, go home. No, just kidding. Item number 11, Resolution 2511-2401, fiscal year 26 authorized position list amendment. Mr. Boyd.
All right, thank you, Mayor. In front of you, you have a memo there to make some requests to amend the quantitative number of positions within the police and the 911 department. Just to clarify, this is not reclassification of our comp plan. We're not adding any new positions or changing it. We're simply request a change based on operational needs of some positions. In simple terms, we are asking to move police officer headcount from 23 to 22 positions and increasing the sergeants from 4 to 5 positions. The total authorized jobs within the police department is 41. That cost impact on that would be an incurred increase of $14,460, which could be absorbed through vacated non-filled positions that were budgeted for FY26. Secondarily, in the communications department, we're asking to change the number of authorized positions for the communications director from 1 to 0, and increase in the telecommunications numbers from 10 to 11 authorized jobs. That still maintains a head count of 15 within the 911 emergency dispatch department. That would be a projected savings of $59,603 during this budget cycle. Those combined both come out of your general fund. Those savings, net savings between the two changes would be approximately $45,143 of net savings to the city, as well as meet the operational needs of both those departments.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-11-2401.
Second.
Thank you, ladies. Any questions to Mr. Boyd? All those in favor of approval of Resolution 2511-2401, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Mr. Boyd, you have the next one, Resolution 2511-2402.
All right, thank you, Mayor. As we discuss periodically, our city is always reviewing its medical plans to ensure that it provides the best overall value to the city and its workforce. Part of that process includes a review of our pharmaceutical plan. Currently, the city's pharmacy benefit manager, which is your carrier that administers all your pharmaceuticals, is TrueRx. One of the things that we realized through a review is that we did not have what's called a coordination of benefits program set up with the pharmaceutical, like the medical plan. And what that means is that allows you to have primary and secondary coverages, meaning 2 insurance plans, and that will cover pharmaceuticals just like it does with medical coverage. There's no impact to the city as far as the budgeted cost that was already presented during the fiscal year 26 budget. So we're just asking for this amended document to add coordination of benefits on pharmaceuticals.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions to Mr. Ward on this one? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11-2402.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, sir. No further questions. All those in favor of passing 2511-2402, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Next item is Resolution 2511-2403, cancellation of our second December meeting so the 8th of December, therefore, will be our last meeting for 2025. Wow. Is there a motion to cancel our second December meeting, which would have been the 22nd? 22nd of December, cancel that meeting?
I move for approval of Resolution 2025-11-2403.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, ma'am. Discussion, staff still remains the right, the authority to ask for a special call meeting in case something comes up that's a hot potato between the 8th of December until the end of the year.
It's likely that there will be a special call meeting. That's been our tradition, that there will probably be certain bills that need to be reviewed with you prior to payment or things of that nature.
And we would typically try to avoid the week of Christmas, though, with that special call meeting, and any other rescheduled meeting requires special notice, so canceling the second one is normal.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of canceling the second December meeting, say aye. Aye. Those opposed likewise, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
That's just because I already want you out of the house. I know what.
That's my excuse, get that last minute shopping done, right? Let's go, move along. Next on the agenda is the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Commissioners. We'd like to point out a couple quick dates. We won't have a long report tonight. The 27th and 28th, of course, City Hall's closed for Thanksgiving. We hope everybody gets an opportunity to spend some time with their family. Reminder, the 28th is the tree lighting and the Salvation Army Toy Drive from 4:30 to 7. Tree lighting, I think, is at 7. 6:30, there you are. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that. December 6th is the Small Town Christmas, and parade begins at noon to 5 p.m. The parade will start at 6:30. December 8th is the next commission meeting. Would like to point out also on December the 8th, the skate park public input meeting will happen at Jenny Rogers. We will announce that that is the place where public input can happen. So if you have an interest in the skate park or its design, or one of your family members does, we would suggest that you go to that meeting and see examples and voice your opinion. It is very helpful that projects like that receive that type of input. The Early Childhood Learning Center, I left it on there from last time, but that's an agenda item later. The biggest thing that we will note in the future commission meetings is the city-county parks agreement. We had a good meeting Friday with the county, with the mayor and I and the county judge and one of the magistrates and Commissioner Peak, talking about that concept as we go through our parks planning. And so we hope to get with the city attorney and get a draft of that in the next 2 weeks, and so that maybe it can be considered in the month of December as well. The Coffee with Commissioners, December 9th, is at the Hub at 8 a.m.
It's actually the 10th.
10th.
We changed that.
See there? And that's all I had, other than the financial report is attached. It includes year-to-dates for the general fund and utility fund. Both are really right on where they're at target. Revenues are right on budget for where we're at fiscal year. And so certainly that's there and available for you. And if you would like to come by and talk about the financial outlook in more detail, we'll be happy to sit down with you. Do you have any questions?
Any questions of the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Coffey. So now we're gonna do a hear the public. You citizens are allowed to raise your hands, be recognized. We'll give you 3 minutes or less to speak to us. I want to keep emphasizing, Please don't be repetitious about the same issues or concerns. I want to remind you all, when we say here to the public, it's just that. The commission, the longstanding tradition is that we just listen. We don't try to answer your concerns or your statements on a meeting night like tonight. So with that said, let's do that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes, sir.
Mayor, while he's walking up, so a little bit of it, I want to make sure procedurally that the audience understands that this is the commission has been giving the first reading of a right-of-way abandonment ordinance. To be official and for that action to be final, there will be a second reading, and then that must be public. So the second reading is when the action is actually confirmed. Is that fair? Is there anything else you want to add to
Yes,
that?
I'm here actually for 3 minutes about a different issue, which I hope is a lot simpler, and then our friends can take all the time they need.
It's an item not on the agenda though, right?
It's not on the agenda,
Thank
that's
you,
right.
sir. All right,
So
okay.
it concerns the Board of Adjustments, and we've had a little misunderstanding. We asked for a variance. We live on East Main Street where the variances have changed in the century since our house was built, and we're trying to replace a garage. And our request is that in instances like this, that the Board of Adjustments be more transparent in their written communication with the property owners. So the only, we talked to City Hall, my wife came down several times to make sure that we understood, and we thought we did, and our understanding was that if there were no objections, then our project would be approved. The only written communication we got from the Board of Adjustments was this letter, which is addressed to our neighbors who would have to, we would have to get their permission, their approval. And it's not very clear that the neighbors, it wasn't very clear to the neighbors just exactly what they had to do. So we told them, well, if you have an objection to the variance, you need to let the Board of Adjustments know. Well, they had no objections. In this communication, it does say, the information is, it says the Danville-Boyle County Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments will hold a public hearing. We were under the impression that if there were no objections, that we didn't need to be there. And so we weren't there, and so our request wasn't taken up. And the only, this was addressed to our neighbors. We got essentially a copy of it. It didn't say anything, it didn't ask us if we had any objections. And so we would just, we'll go up at the next meeting and it'll be approved, we assume. But it would have just, would have been better for us, better for our contractors and so on. So just a revision of the form letters that go out would be a big help.
Did you get one about the meeting yourself?
Well, it was just a copy so it says, dear property owners, Mr. and Mrs. Bruce Johnson have applied for a variance, blah, blah, blah. The enclosed exhibit indicates the location of this application. Then it gives the time and place.
Mayor, that's 3 minutes.
All right.
Of the meeting. And if you have any questions regarding this proposed application. And then it was a copy of the surveyor's report, what the variance would be.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
We'll get that, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, too, I think this is one of those occasions where it would be appropriate just to clarify for Dr. Johnson and the public in attendance. The Board of Adjustments and the Planning and Zoning Commission is a separate partner of the city and county, but it's not city employees or county employees. while the concerns you raise, I agree, are valid and should be conveyed, I think to the extent that staff can address it, they can just merely make the Planning Commission aware of the comments that were made and hope that they address it in a manner that is sufficient for you. Apparently, those aren't our letters, so just want to let you know. I would hope to write with more clarity than you received, but we can certainly relay that just from staff position. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Someone else? Yes, sir. You want to come up, identify yourself again?
Again, I'm David Shannon. I live on Old Lexington Road. To be transparent, we have fought zone change there for a long time and will continue. But my issue today is the process. And the process of why the city is negotiating, as Mr. Coffey says several times, leverage to make that more attractive to the developer, Mr. the Newcomb Oil. Nowhere did I hear, as the list was, well, it will cut down on the mowing charge and whatever. I heard nothing about a very serious issue here, and that is safety. Josh Morgan can attest to the fact that several in the neighborhood, including me and Mr. Quilligan, have long asked that there be speed bumps on Old Lexington. Because of 2168, people, instead of saying, I want to wait at the stoplight, they go down Old Lexington to save 10 seconds, 10 minutes, I don't know, whatever. It's a very unsafe road as it is. That intersection with 3 or 4 roads coming in together is a disaster waiting to happen. Just as an example, what seems to me no forethought is the indication of, well, the trails can use that little triangle up there for a parking lot. Absolutely, that trail needs a parking lot. Absolutely, we should be encouraging trails. Absolutely, we should not encourage people to have to cross that major highway to get to the trail. That is a very unsafe situation. The traffic that will occur along that road, I don't know how you can leverage Newcomb Oil to change the impact that will have on Old Lexington and the traffic of oil tankers, people trying to make their commute a little shorter. So as you leverage and think about trying to make this an attractive area, which is, by the way, it's not just agriculture, it's residential, I would ask you to be very careful of what you are creating.
Thank you, sir. Someone else? Yes, sir. Dr. Weber? Webster?
It's just nerve-wracking, y'all. I just wanted to let you know that when you're not used to doing this stuff. I'm Bob Webster again. I live on Old Lexington Road. Oh, I'm Bob Webster. I live on Old Lexington Road. I want to just address a couple of things Mr. Coffey said. One was when he was talking about the church, he said this property is already partially developed. Churches can go in any residential zoning, as far as I'm aware. That's an allowed use for residential property. So if putting a church in a residential area is partially developed, every neighborhood's in trouble. Because all you got to do is get a church move in next to you, and that's the camel's nose under the tent right there. So I just don't think that's the way to look at a church in a residential area is partially developed. Also, Mr. Coffey talked about, we have leverage with this tract of land that we can leverage what we would want Newcomb Oil, if they get a zone change, to do, how it looks. He got a few chuckles about we can haven't put a brick building up there. I haven't seen any brick gas pumps yet, but maybe, I don't know. But the city commission has ultimate leverage over what they do anyway. We don't need an abandonment of property to have, for the city commission to have leverage there. And my last point is, with the proposed swap of land between the church and Newcomb Oil, and if they get their zone change, what that allows them to do is bring commercial development on down further into Old Lexington Road, down further. So now we, instead of right across the street from these residences that it would already affect, now we got 2 or 3 more residents that are gonna live right across the street from a commercial development. Now, I'm just asking all the city commission, I don't think if it happened in your neighborhood and you had a 5-star moving right across the street, I don't
Mayor,
think
that's 3 minutes.
any of you would be happy. Thank you.
Again, thank you, sir.
Mayor Atkins, Jay Hoffman.
What's your name?
Jay Hoffman. As you know, I'm a big fan of yours. Share a lot of teaching stories. And I think one thing that I've always been very impressed with you, not just on behalf as a teacher, as an instructor, but also on behalf of Danville, you've listened. When you started out your campaigning, you went door to door. You shook a lot of hands and you listened. I would love for you to come door to door to the people in that neighborhood and see if they would like an oil, a gas station, or whatever that Newcomb Oil decides to build. You can start with 2020 Old Lexington Road. I would love to sit down, talk, share thoughts, but voice from many other people. When we moved in there, it was classified as agriculture. Now I believe it is now some type of residential area. We welcome new people. The idea of changing it and making it commercial, I think we're all a little concerned, very concerned, not just for safety, which was brought up, but I'm raising a kid, raising 2 wonderful children, and the idea of now raising them across the street from a gas station, and that was one reason why we chose to move into that neighborhood, safety. I think if you put yourself into our shoes, I think you could really think about the future of what one thing can happen. Well, does that push the domino for many others? And I think we're all in agreement that there's not just one plan in that little area there. Thanks for your time. We'll certainly do our part to try to make sure we hear and you hear our voices. But, you know, I'd love to have that knock at the door.
It's a good time for turkey and dressing too, right?
Mayor, it's incumbent upon me to make sure that the comments that are discussed and listened to tonight don't taint a potential zone change public hearing that is before the Planning Commission. You're prohibited from having discussions at this time that would taint that public process by statute. And so to the extent that those in attendance can refrain from discussing zone change matters, it would be beneficial to the community as a whole. You are free to hear comments that pertain to the abandonment of the right-of-way and whether you're in favor or against that, but to the extent that they apply to a zone change, you are not at liberty to hear those particular comments at that time. It is out of character of the legal process, and I know that is a difficult balancing act in light of the subject matter that is before you. However, you are prohibited from considering zone change matters or discussions at this juncture. That is a task only the Planning Commission is vested with power to do, and you abrogate that responsibility if you entertain those discussions tonight. So I would ask us to all try to be mindful that the comments can only pertain to whether you support abandonment or not. And you can say why or ask questions about that'll be listened to, but to the extent they apply towards use, you're not able to hear those.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Volkamp, I know you can do that, right?
Well, let's see if I can follow Steve.
Yeah, I know you
It'll be
can.
hard, but I'll.
That's all right.
No, okay. I'm Sarah Volkamp. I live on 875 Shadeland Drive, and I am a member of Smart Growth Board, which has been a long-time group who has been interested in Danville and keeping it a balance between economic development and preservation. And I'll just say that I think that our group is very happy that so many of the residents in that area, we've certainly been involved with them in the past, have been willing to come out and that support our principles too. So that's all I'll say. Did that work, Mr. Dexter?
So far, so good.
Thank you, ma'am. I was going to say blame it on Commissioner Cottle, but you got him off the hook, okay. Is there anyone else? My friend standing up there. Are you wanting to, oh. Yes, ma'am.
Hi there. I'm Melissa Broussard, and I live at the corner of Old Lexington and Cardinal Terrace. This abandonment of the right-of-way, you know, it shouldn't happen. A well-planned, healthy community, you have safe streets, you have ample green space. You get rid of that, and you're getting rid of some of our green space. You know, that abandonment issue should not, it shouldn't happen. They don't have to mow it just a few times a year. I don't understand why it would be abandoned and given to an out of a company from Bardstown, Kentucky. I don't understand that, number one. It seems like it should be given to someone local. And I know this is probably planning and zoning, but that map should be bigger so you can see everyone affected and the flooding that occurs at the end of that neighborhood. I have tried to contact the city engineer 6 weeks ago. I'm still waiting for a call back. I've emailed everyone up there. No one has emailed me. You returned my call, Mr. Mayor, and I appreciate it. Mr. Coffey returned my call.
You emailed us?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, the
I didn't see
email
it.
that is on the city directory, I emailed all of you.
Okay, well.
And
I
I'm very
apologize, and I
disappointed
missed
that
it.
we are not being represented. It really hurts me because I have voted for all of you, and
I
some of you
appreciate
for
that.
decades.
I'm sorry that I missed it.
Okay, thank you.
My fault.
Thank you, ma'am. Spell your last name for us, ma'am.
B-R-E-W-S-A-U-G-H.
Okay. Well, I'll give them a chance to go back and look for it, is what I was thinking. All right. I was trying to wait it out, but I guess I have, so let's go back to item number 10. So item number 10 is first reading of ordinance number 2060, right-of-way abandonment, Old Lexington Road. So the chair will entertain a motion.
You already have a motion
Do I have
and a
motion?
second,
Oh, do we? Okay.
Mayor. I don't
And the
know if you
motion-
need any follow-up from staff on anything that was discussed, if the commission has any questions.
The motion
For us.
was to approve the first reading.
It was.
All right. So if no other comments, then Madam Clerk, we need to do a roll call vote.
I had one more comment. I'm slow, I'm
Oh, that's all
sorry.
right. All right.
I was looking at the picture. Okay, so track 3 actually goes to the church.
Yes. Eric, can I have the clicker, please?
Okay,
Okay.
that's a good thing. Okay.
The church currently owns this
Yeah, and track 3
roughly
will go to
triangular
the church,
position.
the abandonment.
This part,
Okay.
they are anticipating going to Newcomb, which would own all of this shape. This particular tract now in that roughly triangular shape is all Newcomb oil, and they would swap this for that, creating 2 roughly rectangular tracts.
Okay.
I think also, just for the benefit of those in attendance here tonight, and in light of the earlier comments I had to make to protect the conversation that was had, as I understand it, upon review, the Planning Commission will host a public hearing on a zone change application that has been submitted by Cornerstone Assembly of God and Newcomb Oil Company on December the 10th. December the 10th, I believe it's 9 a.m. Is that correct? Their usual meetings are at 9 a.m. So I want to reiterate to you, so the public hearing that will be held on December 10th, the comments that I believe a lot or several of those in attendance wanted to make would be appropriate at that hearing. From a staff perspective, we would say that's not only appropriate, but it's beneficial to the process if those are voiced in the appropriate venue, so they are put in a record, which will allow appropriate conditions to be placed on any action of the Planning Commission. While this is not the smoothest of matters that's before you, it works in the way, if we say the comments in the appropriate venues, they get in the record, and then they will come back before you at the right time to make a final determination. That process just doesn't start tonight. We'd also like to remind you that these zone changes are on the Planning Commission's public hearing calendar and will be considered whether or not the city abandons this particular right-of-way. So regardless of your action tonight, those matters will proceed before the Planning Commission. They don't need the city's participation of what you choose here tonight. So the question before you tonight is do you think it's appropriate or not to continue ownership and maintenance of this existing roadbed? Succinctly said, that is the legal question before you tonight. And this is a first reading. So it's not a final conclusive act. It is the first step in but a process.
Okay. And my very last question. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
have something, Mayor?
Oh, I saw somebody's hand up back there.
Okay. Where I wasn't here the last meeting. Okay, page 5, there's a little picture. Is that Newcomb? Basically, we're looking at a picture on page 5. And I don't know if they can see it, but the Newcomb thing's all in their area, and it's irrelevant to the right-of-way.
That's correct.
The picture I'm seeing is going to happen, it's not even in the right-of-way.
That was a pencil drawing provided with their request to, and consent to close the right-of-way, but their request to close the right-of-way as owners of the property.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's the pencil drawing we have, and it does demonstrate that sufficient land there exists that led us to conclude what I just said. You're not enabling their application submittal per se. You have the opportunity to influence it in a positive way, though, if they do submit it, and as they have submitted, I guess.
Okay, yeah, and I see 3 entrances even without our right-of-way and their entire Okay. I
That's
just wanted to
correct.
make sure I saw that correctly. Thank you.
That's correct, but you're correct to point out that their existing, or their sketched site plan does not necessitate the abandonment of this right-of-way. They can do what they want to without the city. What you see in numerical paragraph 5 is perhaps something I would draw your attention to, is in your ordinance that says any non-agricultural use of the property will require a zone map amendment application, and any future development should require appropriate conditions addressing traffic, lighting, building materials, and landscaping.
Mr. Hoffman, will that take care of you?
Just a quick question. So if it's abandoned, why did Danville go with abandoning it to Newcomb Oil and not abandoning it to the residents that live there?
I'll be happy to answer that question. It's just a violation of law. Kentucky statute says when right-of-way is abandoned, it inures to the benefit of the adjoining property owners. That's state law. And so we've had many occasions of that in our community. No, it immediately abutting. So you have to own directly as touching, abutting. So we've done that on numerous occasions throughout the city. So we can name a few. We've assisted when we've closed Hope and Short Street, for example, where Center's athletic complex is. We've done it there. We've done it between 2nd and 3rd Street on several occasions where existing right-of-way encumbered property that would not allow a Habitat home or something like that to be built. So the city is not abandoning this. The city is only abandoning its right-of-way on this side of Old Lexington Road. It's just here. So the city's existing right-of-way, the roadbed continues on this side of the road. That is where the parking lot will be for the trailhead.
Okay, we were doing real good now. Let's get back to order. I was bragging about your attendance and participation. Let's let the city commissioners continue their dialogue. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you got, okay.
Is the church not an adjacent property? Yes, it is.
They are.
Why not give the land to the church?
They will.
A piece of it.
Upon approval of the ordinance, the church will. So when this happens here, this area right here, the church would get this area from here towards them, and then Newcomb would get the area here. So what that means is the church they would swap this, but I hope I've explained that as well as I can. I know I'm not an engineer, but anybody that touches it, you would get the other side. So right now, the church's existing property line is here. Upon closure of this area here, which the city owns, this would technically, this shaded area where my clicker is, would go to the church because they immediately adjoin it.
So does Newcomb Oil.
Right, so they would, right to the center where my line is, the law says that the center of that roadway, old roadway, is the new line. So this line would go slightly this direction, and this line would go slightly this direction. It meets in the middle.
So why get rid of it? Why should the city get rid of it?
Well, that question is before the commission, ma'am.
Yeah. I think, again, we have a motion and a second for a first reading. There are a lot of things that can take place after this first reading. This just moves the process a little further. I know I'll see all of you all the 10th of December at 9 a.m. at the Planning and Zoning meeting. I don't usually come, but I attend, but I think I'll attend that day if I'm in town. But again, I'm going to call for the question on this, and we're going to do a roll call vote. And it's first reading of ordinance 2060 that the city moves forward in its abandonment, right-of-way abandonment procedures. So call for the question. Madam Clerk, would you do a roll call vote for me again, please, ma'am?
Yes, Commissioner Peak,
I'm going to explain. I'm going to vote yes because I think these are two separate issues. What you brought before us was an abandonment of a roadway. We don't have there's nothing, P&Z will, if there is something before them, they will have a meeting, as obviously they're going to have a meeting. So mine's for the abandonment of the right-of-way for the reasons the staff stated at the last meeting.
Mayor Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland. Yes. Commissioner Saris. Yes. Commissioner Cottle.
Yes.
Motion carries then, okay?
And this is the first reading, so the second one will be at our next meeting.
8th of December.
We've not scheduled a second reading, but
Oh,
here's
wait.
a second reading will be forthcoming at some point.
Okay. Very good. So, next on our agenda is Commissioner updates and comments. I'm going to take the privilege of the chair and just skip that one tonight.
I wanted to share something, though.
Oh.
I did want to share
All
something.
right, come on, Commissioner.
And I'll be short. I want to thank city staff, and I know Jeff was in on it too as well, and the police department, and Tony Floro for bringing up the subject of Marshall Simpson, the fallen police officer that was the town sheriff back in 1880s. And as they have the police officer memorial every year, he's not been recognized because they couldn't find a grave so anyway, with some digging, and we found a spot, and city staff it was great that they have helped, and Tony Floro and W.L. Pruitt actually donated, I believe, the marker.
The granite, yes.
The
stone.
granite,
Yep.
and they actually, we went out yesterday, and the child's stone, I guess Public Works did that they've erected the stone that was in the ground, so they've had to dig it out and put it up, and it's really nice, and I want to thank those people publicly,
Yeah,
that they'll do it, and I think you'll have a dedication later, right?
Yeah, I think we were trying to get stone up as soon as we could, but I think they're going to do something, probably Police Week in May. We'll do
Oh.
some kind of ceremony. I'm not, Jeff and I haven't talked about it recently, so maybe he's going to do something sooner, but we'll try to.
No, I just think it's an awesome thing, that hopefully next year in May, we will be able to
Yeah,
recognize them.
we have Marshall Simpson in our records, but we don't have a headstone and in that older area, the graves aren't always where they're labeled they're supposed to be. It'll just say in this particular section. But we did find his child, so we were
Virgil.
able to put a stone out by the road that kind of is in front of that area that we know he's in that says, hey, Marshall Simpson is laid to rest in this area, and kind of tells his story there, so. Yeah,
Right,
it's pretty cool.
it's awesome, because he was killed in the line of duty, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, he was town marshal.
It's a terrific story,
It
and
is
we
a
we
great
certainly want to honor it and unveil it and make a big deal out of it. We will do that.
Thank you. Any other commissioner comments and updates? Trying to get past it. Let's move to the next item then. Payment of the bills. Chair will entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented.
Approve the bill list in the amount of $480,723.03.
Thank you,
Second.
sir. Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments about the bills? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. All bills will be paid. Next item is Resolution 2025-11-2404. Mr. Carrier, you have the next three items.
Thank you, Mayor. This agenda item is in relation to some bids that we received for the Lebanon Road Clark's Run Phase 2 Sewer Improvements Project. On October the 21st, 2025, we publicly opened bids for construction of the Sewer Improvements Project Phase 2. It includes roughly 3,500 linear feet of large diameter gravity sewer lines, another 3,000 feet of 27-inch, 3,200 linear feet of 24-inch, 100 feet of 15-inch, 110 feet of 12, and 60-inch of 8-inch gravity sewer lines and appurtenances. This will also include 48 new manholes for the project. We had 5 bids ranging from $4,925,000 to $9,893,205. Pretty big spread out of 5 bids. So we were great to have a couple low bids in there also. Hubert Excavating Contracting was a low bid for the sum of $4,925,000, and it's my recommendation to award to Hubert Excavating and Contracting. We've done some work with them before, and they've done a lot of good work for us. They actually did the Phase 1 portion also. So lots of times when they come in to bid the job, they're very competitive, if not the lowest bidder normally for most projects that they bid. So turned out it worked in our favor. The original estimate, just for comparative sakes, our original engineer's estimate was 6.3 million. So 4.9 is a very, very good bid for us. So I recommend award to Huber Construction. And again, this will be a collection of KIA funds and a $1.99 million EDA grant. So lots of times with those KIA funds, you have to have local matches. But we worked with KIA to accrue the local match value in their funds, so we don't have a local match on this project.
Great job.
Very good.
Yep.
Good job.
Chair would like to entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-11-2404.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments from Mr. Carrier?
And
I
just-
think Marshall answered the one I had about being such a large difference between the bids.
Yeah.
That I wondered if the low bid really understood the scope of the bid, but you said we worked with them before and they,
Yeah.
they're just cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, they operate with really low overhead. It's not a big outfit, but they're very efficient in the work that they do. And actually, the owner is the gentleman that typically runs the excavator on the project, which is really good for us, because if you have any qualms or issues with the contractor, the efficiency of the project getting done, you can literally go out there and talk to the person as
Yeah.
opposed to speaking to somebody
Wow.
hours away. So there's value in that, too.
Yes.
Great. That's perfect.
Great, and thanks for sharing with the taxpayers that it's almost 9 million, or 2 million with the EDA grant,
Yeah.
and that's huge, so thank you.
Yeah, we were very lucky to get that, so, roll it in the project. It turned out really well for us.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Mr. Carrier, you got the next one?
Thank you, Mayor. This is for a contract amendment with HDR Engineering for additional services related to the Perryville Road Phase 3 Water Main Project. $19,100 for construction and administration due to additional days of construction time from the project. And a change order for, I don't know if you all recall or not, but we had some additional funds in the project, and we did some upgrades along Hardy Street in Perryville also as part of this project as a change order. Removing $20,300 for geotechnical work that was not rendered with the project, and additional $9,000 for preparation of easement documents. 6 parcels in total. Net value of this amendment is $7,800 from capital.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11-2405.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. I always oppose sometime in the night, right?
Dramatic.
Any questions or comments?
Ms. Sears is better at it than I am, so I want her to do it.
Okay. All those in favor of this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so 11-2405 just passed. Marshall, you have the next one?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an additional contract amendment for HDR Engineering for additional services related to the Lebanon Road Phase 1 and Phase 2 sewer project, $21,050 for Phase 1 construction services. Contract administration costs incurred by HDR during construction phase, extending the project to, by 232 days, 442 total, primarily due to the extreme rock conditions. I don't know if you all recall or not, but in that Phase 1 project, they ran into some really heavy-duty rock. That was Hubert, by the way, and we worked through that with them. And then Phase 2, $57,250 for construction services to be provided by HDR. Construction is anticipated to begin early in 2026 on this Phase 2 project, total being $78,300 from capital.
Thank you, sir. What's your pleasure, commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11-2406.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, ma'am. Other questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing none, all those in favor of 2405, say aye. I mean, 06, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, sir. Next, we move down the agenda to Mr. Morgan.
Yes, thank you all. So on November 12th, which is a couple weeks ago, the Jenny Rogers Early Learning Center, called the Selection Committee, which was composed of myself, Tommy Barton, the Parks and Rec Director, Tom Poland, who's here with us tonight, is with the Governor's Early Learning Council. Is that the right? Close enough, he says. Jen Gonder, who with CenterWorks, is here, and then Libby Mays with Ephraim McDowell was on the committee as well. We interviewed, we were supposed to interview 4. We had one back out on the day of, so we interviewed 3 providers. There's a score sheet in your packet that shows the scores for each. We have scored the highest, and we are recommending selection of Wren's Nest Daycare and Learning Center. The thing that really set them apart, all 3 did great presentations, great proposals. The quality would have been high. We would have been able to work with any of the 3 to provide a good experience at Jenny Rogers. What really set them apart is they had everything we were looking for as far as, there's a high-quality curriculum, stability, because it's an existing business that has been around for a decade now, I think. So there's stability there, and then they're going to expand to here. So they're expanding the capacity of the community. They have an existing daycare center on the north side of Harrisburg, and they have a waiting list with hundreds of kids on it, and they're just going to expand into Jenny Rogers because a lot of their clientele comes from the Danville, Bull County area. So that's why we're recommending their selection. Their proposal is in your all's packet to give you all a chance to look at that. And if you all approve this recommendation tonight, we will work with them to prepare a lease agreement that we will bring back to you all at a later date. I'm sure they want to hit the ground running. Another thing that we really liked about their proposal is how quickly they were going to occupy the building and get their full capacity up and running. They're thinking they could be at what they're hoping is almost their full capacity in about 4 to 6 months, which was much quicker than we were kind of hearing. We were hearing from other folks, and we were kind of concerned. That's one of the things with Boyle County Schools. It was kind of slow getting them up to capacity. They seem to think they'll be able to fill up pretty quick. So that's what we're presenting tonight.
They're going to try to, we have a capacity for 100-plus children?
Yes. Their initial number, I think, was like 101 is what they had in their proposal initially. But I think the building could hold, we were thinking 120 to 130. Depends on the ratios. It's all about how many teachers they have and what rooms and how much square footage they use in each room. So we're thinking it could hold up to 120, 130, but they were looking at right at 100 to start out.
I'm asking these questions out loud because I want the public that who are watching this to hear some of these answers, right? Hours of operation?
Let me pull that. 5:45 to 5:45.
5:45 a.m. to 5:45 p.m.
Yes.
Great, okay.
Yep.
Days of operation?
Yeah, weekdays throughout the year. Weekdays throughout the year. There's a section here about holidays, if I can find that.
But when schools close for vacation times, Christmas,
I've looked at a
spring
lot of
break, fall
these.
break.
I get them all mixed up.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to make sure we've been here before, so.
That was one of the, we specified that in the request for proposals, is that we wanted whoever was going to occupy the space was open much more time than what the previous occupant was.
24/7, 365 days a year?
Yes, when people got to work, they got to work, most days of the year. So it's got to be open for them.
Well, I just want everybody to hear that this is the kind of program we're starting to operate, and the main focus is going to be provide childcare. The early childhood education part of it is like the icing on top of the cake.
I think Tom would like to say something.
Mr. Mayor, but if I could,
No.
one other little important aspect of this decision and the
Yes.
Wren's Nest
Yes.
is that they have, the owner has 20 years of experience
Yes.
before they began
Yes.
this in the child care assistance program.
Yes.
Which that was not even part of the previous provider. So
Yes.
we felt like that was a great opportunity for the community needs as a whole.
Yeah, and again, I'm not challenging your decision.
Oh, no.
I'm just trying to make sure that when the public hears it, yeah, that's right. When the public hears we're getting ready to open up, and they get their children lined up and signed up, they're gonna get the service that some of us assume they're gonna get last time, okay? I don't want working parents calling me, says, I gotta go to work today, and they're closed down, you know. So, you know, I know Ms. Gander, Jennifer, whatever, you know, is on the committee, so that's great. But it's really, it's a very important move for us again. And we wanted to, you know, they've got a lot of neat experiences. It was a real good proposal, but the public needs to hear that we have done due diligence and we're going to make this thing meet the needs of our community. City employees are going to take their children over to this place. You know, we got a lot of reasons why we want it to be successful. Oh, and the other question is, I can say to the community that the affordability has been reviewed and looked at and studied and everything else.
Yes, it has. They're, which I don't.
You don't have to call out the numbers.
The
I
rates,
just want to
but
make sure everybody knows.
and they carried a very high. What's it called? What's the term I'm looking for? Community.
So what's really nice about this.
Probably go the mic. Tom, I was.
Jim.
Should have fussed at Tom to go to the mic earlier.
We need to hear this, yeah.
So thank you for bringing up affordability. I think that's a really important, along with hours and availability, I think affordability is really important for our families.
Yes, ma'am.
What was really nice about this proposal is that it was affordable, but in addition to that, because it is an existing successful business in Harrodsburg, and because of the 20 years of experience that the owner has, they are very flexible and nimble with their business portfolio. They take advantage of CCAP, which is the state subsidy, so families that fall on around the poverty line can take advantage of that. They are used to helping families fill out the paperwork, so they could take advantage of that. One of the things they also talked about, especially with the Jenny Rogers Community Center, is also taking advantage of the kitchen, so that there are other food programs and food subsidies that the state provides that can provide the food and the snacks and the lunches for the children that go there, which was a limitation over the old administration. And one of the other things to add to Josh's comment about the wait list that they already have, and they feel very confident of being able to fill it up with the kids. Another strength that they come with is that they already have that established, seasoned staff that they have already been thinking of how they're going to transition some staff over to the new spot while they're training up others, right? And so they even talked about if they were given this proposal, how they would go ahead and start training and hiring staff, training them in their current facility and transitioning some over to the Jenny Rogers facility. So, like, to echo what Josh said, the proposals in front of us were all very strong, but we felt very good about the one that we put in front of you.
Anticipated opening date?
A little bit.
I think they had
Anticipated opening date.
They had 18 weeks in their proposal from when we say go. So I think it's a little bit in our court right now to give them the go-ahead. I think they talked about, like, they assume a portion of their staff and a portion of their children they have now will willingly move to Jenny Rogers to be in the new location because they're in the Danville area already. So I think they're planning on they're kind of split and then grow into both again as they split apart. So I think that was good. That was just the stability of that, and the increased capacity was just great. So that was really drew us to them.
This all sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
Okay? And I hope those in the public who are out there listening to us will take heed and come back to Jenny Rogers and give that Jenny Rogers facility a second chance. And for some of you all, a new start. So appreciate that. Do we have a motion?
I don't think so.
Is there a motion on the Jenny Rogers Early Learning Center selection group? Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11-2407?
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am. I got on my soap opera, I'm sorry. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. I've been waiting a long time for this one, okay. Any other questions or comments?
I'll just say that, I was reached out to. People reached out to me from different, some of these vendors, and I think people are excited about it, being developed at Jenny Rogers. It sounded like there were several good, submittals.
Good.
I found it
Yeah.
interesting that, it's been a while since I had kids in daycare. It's been a minute or two. And, so I was checking prices. And, dang.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't afford to have kids anymore.
Right.
Yeah, my kids aren't that old, and it's gone up a lot since my kids were in
Yeah.
daycare, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My daughter lives in Lexington, and she pays a fortune for 2 kids.
yeah, wow.
So, yeah, this seems really affordable to me after hearing all that.
Well, again, I think the committee did some great work. Let's carry this motion. All those in favor of passing 2025-11-2407, say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Josh. You have the next one.
Yes, in your all's package, you have an agreement with Spawn Ranch Skate Parks for the design build of the skate park improvements at Millennium Park. As you'll see, kind of like, kind of a boilerplate agreement to get them started on their work. It has the schedule in there. It has the deliverables that they'll provide to us throughout the process. The thing I wanted to point out to you all on, I think it's Exhibit B, which that's like page 7. The project fees, it puts a not-to-exceed fee of $400,000, which is what is budgeted right now, $150,000 from the city and $250,000 from the county. We added a little note in there. The note below there, we'll design additional phases for future construction and/or if the budget's increased a minimum of 8 weeks prior to mobilization, which means if we let them know more than 2 months of when they're planning to mobilize their construction folks here, that we want to spend more than $400,000, which the county has implied, we'll add that too. We'll bring another agreement back, an amendment to this agreement to add to that not to exceed cost of $400,000. But that was all we could do right now because that's all that's been budgeted. But otherwise, it's a pretty boilerplate agreement. Has them doing construction, probably beginning construction in probably late spring, early summer of '26, and completing construction in the fall of '26. We've talked to them. We have a really good window of time to finish a project like this, to get the concrete work done, to get the grass growing, and get everything opened up, which would be September, October kind of windows when weather's actually dry enough here and warm enough to get something done. So that's what they're eyeballing for next season. So
That's amazing.
Earl mentioned the public meeting on December 8th. There's also a survey out right now that we've posted on all of our on website, social media. Folks can go on and fill out that survey about the skate park. There's a lot of terms in there that I don't know anything about. It's about like coping and transitions and those kind of things. And like, do you do round bars or square bars, things like that? But it's questions that people that use these skate parks know what they like.
Yeah.
So folks that do that need to get on there and fill that out and let us know what they want to see. So we're excited about this one as well. This will be a really cool project when we can get it completed.
Yeah, when you have the ribbon cutting for this one, it's one of those times you don't have to ask the commission to be the first ones to get on it.
Guaranteed.
Sounds good. Okay. Let's carry the motion then, right?
I move for approval of Resolution 2025-11-2408.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Thank you, ma'am. All right. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, likewise. Just another exciting project.
Another way for me to break a leg.
Yeah.
And this will, but, I mean, this is they'll bring a design back and talk about it.
Yes, this enables them to
just
start
starting,
the
right, and
design
it's-
process. They're really, right now, we're just starting kind of the public input.
Right.
They're gonna do site surveys and we'll do geotech and those kind of things that you have to do to get the design started.
Okay.
Well, I do appreciate the level of involvement the fiscal courts.
I do too.
putting
Yes.
with us.
We should acknowledge the conversation so far with the fiscal court has been understanding that if we do the whole thing at one time, they're going to, the design ultimately probably could cost more than $400,000. The scope that when you compare our community to other communities, you're looking at a skate park probably in the neighborhood of $700,000. The question will ultimately come to you guys, and I would just want to caution you that now, is that completing that all the way up to $700,000, whatever that number is. The county has given us the indication as staff that they're going to lead the charge to bump that up to a finished product so that it's not phased. The concern you would have is that if you do it in multiple phases, the second phase will be more expensive than your $300,000. It would turn it more into like because they have to remobilize and do these other things, it's going to add an additional layer of cost to it. So I just want to make sure that we verbalize that to you. You know, you can do it for $400,000 if that's what you all choose, so don't forget that. But there will be pressure when you look at comparable skate parks to invest probably about that number.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a motion to adjourn?
We do need executive session for personnel.
I tried, didn't I? Man. Is there a motion to go into a brief executive session?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session, discuss personnel matter pursuant to KRS 61-810-1F.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like aye. All right,
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye. Here she comes. Just kidding.
We're out of executive session. Oh, here she comes.
Somebody's gonna be in trouble when they get home. Because I found that in the floor.
Come on, serious? Whole world waiting on you.
No, your wife's making you spam and eggs tonight.
We gotta vote on a couple things. Come on back in. That's all right.
That's all right, we just.
I guess we just assumed and didn't tell you.
Well, I thought we were doing it in the other room. But I guess there's more, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor Commission. Staff is recommending the hiring of Kenneth Ridge to the position of a police officer.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. Next.
Staff is recommending the reclassification of Daniel Grigsby to the position of police sergeant.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Staff is recommending the reclassification of William Davis to the position of police detective.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All those in favor say aye.
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 Staff is recommending the reclassification of Matthew Sparks to the position of senior telecommunications officer.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Staff is recommending the hiring of Amber Ridge to the position of telecommunications officer.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ashley, having a good time, aren't you? Next one.
Staff is recommending the hiring of Heather Riley to the position of telecommunications officer.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Next one, please.
Staff is recommending the hiring of Jennifer Cook to the position of utility billing manager.
Oh, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next one.
Staff is recommending the hiring of Robbie Griffin to the position of wastewater collections operator trainee.
Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you all. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, there's a next one.
Staff is recommending the hiring of Lloyd Likens to the position of wastewater treatment operator trainee.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. All in favor say aye.
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 Next one, next.
Staff is recommending the reclassification of Tootie Welch to the position of utility clerk.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, sir. That was the last one.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Chair would like to entertain a motion to go back into executive session.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded we adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.